Alright, we're back over to the other bench again. I wanted to show you this part. Like I talked about this in another video. So I got my holes drilled. I'm about to get ready to start setting my plunge line. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Milwaukee marker. And I'm going to draw on this. Like I said, this is down at 36 grit, right? There's some stuff, it's called marking fluid for laying out or layout fluid by Dychem. It'll dye the edges of this steel the same exact way that this will. It's like a blue color. I think they may make other colors. I've only ever used blue. So I'm going to color the whole edge with this black marker. It's important because what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this blade flat on this bench. And I'm going to take this drill bit. This is a 3/16 inch drill bit. You probably want to use one the same size as your steel. But what this is going to do is give me a mark down the center of my blade. So I'm going to take the drill bit and I'm going to scrape it right along the edge of that blade. You see that? How about that action? So this is important. Why? Because when you're grinding, you want your plunge lines to be even distance from this side to the center. So if I were to use a little bit, the actual right size drill bit of 532, it would have given me a line just a little bit left of center, a little bit right of center, left and right. And it give you the thickness of about a dime. That's what I try to go with because you want a thicker spine and a thicker edge, flat spot here on this part when you go to quench that, because that's going to give your blade a lot more rigidity. This is going to be a short blade. I'm really not concerned with it bowing in the heat treat, but I still want to know where my center line is. So if you want an even thicker line than that, I hope that came across on the camera. You know, you can just do it again. You know, and you'll see little curly cues. You got a decently sharp bit. These are Sears cobalt steel bits. I love them, but Sears is dying. So I don't know. I'll have to get them somewhere else. Alright, so look, I got a nice thick line. And I know, and you'll see when I grind, I'm going to grind down close to that. I left the 36 grit belt on the belt grinder, so I don't have to do a bunch of belt changes. So at the same time, I'm going to do this little jig, and this is just to keep my grind lines flat this way. Because if you don't, let me see, I may have an ugly one. Alright, these are alright. This is an old knife, but this is one of my tried and true, guys. This is one just playing around when I first got my stencils, and it's all nicked up and beat up, but I have beat the crap out of this thing, and it is still sharp and hard. But when you put this jig on here, it'll allow you to get this plunge line, we're calling it, really flat. You can get them flat. It's the same thing, guys. If you don't have a grinder and you're using files, you're still going to want a guide. So, you know, you clamp it where you want your plunge line to stop. This is a chef's knife, so it's not going to be, you know, like this one, kind of up in this area. You're not going to have a choil or a sharpening notch in this. I want it all the way down, you know. I want to sharpen it down probably into that area so that this whole entire edge is a cutting surface, if that makes sense. So I'm going to clamp my little jig on here. I got to take more time flattening mine because I should have threaded this where it wouldn't move around, and I can make sure it's flat every time and I don't have the, you know, each piece wiggling. But there's always workarounds for all that crap because, you know, you can take it and set it on the edge of a table like this, you know. I don't know if you can even see that. You set it on the edge of the table, make sure it's flat like that, and then tighten it down. So I'm just going to make sure this is straight. I'm going to turn the camera off. I keep saying and dude. I sound like a retard. That's alright. We're going to get this flat. I'm going to tighten it down. I'm going to meet you at the grinder. We're going to start grinding some plunge lines in. Bye.